Journal entry for 2 days. I did not record a video yesterday. There have been many attempts on my life trying to get me before Easter because I believe that the remnant, God's chosen ones, are going to have a rebirth and restoration in line with the holidays. That's driving me crazy. I've got only a couple bulbs that aren't burnt out. So April 2nd was yesterday. I am trying to remember. It's really late. I stayed up all night tonight. Trying to remember. Okay, so inside of my bag, this sometimes happens, and I think it's witchcraft, is I have pens, and they get unscrewed. And I have my bag with me, so I don't know how this is happening. But maybe when I get cursed, this is just one of the curses, is that my pen unscrews itself. And it won't, when I press the button, it doesn't work, so then I have to screw it back together. This may be one way, when they curse me, I actually get cursed. And that's good, because it's not really that, it's not that bad. So, I got up, I went to the soup kitchen. I did not go the day before. Maybe I did, I forgot. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. So I went to the soup kitchen. They have people ready to get me right away, ready to get me with curses and spells. So there was a long line, and there was a man right at the end. This is a different man I had never seen at the soup kitchen before. So they brought in a whole other enemy. It's probably the people that go there regularly. They've already cursed me. They've already found out. They don't necessarily want to do it again. Some have tried. So I don't know. But then this guy, he is at the end of the line, and he turns around and looks at me. And then he puts his hand on my shoulder and says, "Go ahead," and then he gets behind me. So he made me ditch, essentially. It was a gift of me getting ahead of him in the line. But he turned around, and he was like, "Go ahead," and then he went behind me. So I couldn't do anything about it. I can't explain it, but I was just standing still, and he sneak attacked, "Go ahead." Normally they say go ahead, and I'm like, no. This guy, he went behind me, and he tapped me on the shoulder. Okay, well, I guess I need to get a curse, and God's allowing this. God probably wants this because he needs some type of judgment. And it's not that the ditch is a bad thing. It's just the Satanists and the hired people, they want to curse me. Many chosen ones are getting cursed. And I don't know what the curse is supposed to be. I mean, they even intend to, they want to kill, but I don't know what their plan for the curse is. But I think that they do a lot of effort to set up a curse, and then just something minor usually happens. So, but maybe their intentions were something much worse, because I think they were doing a lot of witchcraft about bleeding and me getting stabbed. This is something I realized. This is something I realized that happened when they brought in the killer. And I noticed, because as soon as he opened the door, as soon as he came in to the Bible study, everyone else left. So there weren't really people there. One woman went down the hallway, so she wasn't there, and I was alone in the back area with the food. Then he comes in, and his eyes are staring right into mine, and he comes straight towards me. And at first, I had a feeling of fear for 1 or 2 seconds, and I stand there. And I just look at him calmly. And then he comes up to me, and then we look at each other in the eyes. I didn't run away. It's I trust God, but if God wants me to die, I guess I'm going to die. But I don't think so. I'm going to be restored. Because God doesn't have me playing guitar and showing me visions and things for it not to happen. So it will happen. This is a reversal. Things are being undone the way that prophecy is being fulfilled now at the end times. So they think they're going to kill They think they're going to kill. Well, anyways, whatever I am, if I'm one of the hundred, I believe I believe I'm one of the 144,000 end time saints. I don't know which one. I don't know, like, because Elijah was a powerful prophet, but there were 7,000 others like him. So I don't know, but I know they are trying to kill me, um, and I don't see them targeting other people like this. I mean, like gangs will put hits on people, but this is where they're outsourcing. They're different groups that don't like each other or working together to try to get me. So, anyways, like, this killer came up, and it wasn't that he was like large or anything. He was older, but he could have stabbed me or something. And I think that was the plan. I think that he was probably like an old veteran. He was like 70, but he was 71, I think. I'm not sure. But he was an old veteran, and I believe the plan was to stab me because the way he came towards me, and he was a little too old for hand combat. So I thought, when he came in, I was like, are they sending this person to stab me? And then I just kept looking at him, and I didn't turn my back away. We maintained eye contact. And then I thought about it the next day. That, like, the day before, they sent this guy to kill me, and they were like, they didn't know what to do. They were unprepared that I wasn't dead. They were unprepared that I wasn't dead. But anyways, let's see, what was it? The day before this, I stabbed myself on the face. I don't stab myself in the face. This is a rare thing. Like, but I actually stabbed myself. It was with a box cutter. I cut myself with a box cutter right on my face, and there was blood there, and you could see it, and it's still there. It's been like 4 days. It doesn't look great. So this is not something I normally do, and I realized I did this the day before they sent the killer, and when I saw him, it looked like if he was going to kill me, I thought it'd probably be a knife. It would probably be a knife. It's quiet. They can get away with it. That I was just thinking that'd be something that you don't have to have a lot of stamina if you're old. Just, but they probably did some type of witchcraft with blood loss and with stabbing, because I stabbed myself. I stabbed myself and I made myself bleed. And so that curse was used up. Yeah, this is what happened. I'm like, oh, there's blood on my face. It doesn't look good. But yeah, this is the evidence. I mean, okay. Yeah, I'm not looking great today because I was like sweaty and I mowed the lawn real quick. Let's see. April 2nd. So I think one curse, my pen was unscrewed. Just my pen that I write my notes with was unscrewed, and I had to screw it back. Maybe this was when the guy ditched me, or like the guy made me ditch, or he said go ahead of me. So then that curse was probably my pen was unscrewed. I don't know. The Bible verse was John 13:34. A new command I give you: love one another as I have loved you. And so today was the Healing Strings group. Well, today was the music charity, and they brought in the guitar, which I picked an electric acoustic. Now, I picked this to perform with an amp, but it doesn't have a great sound. So, it really doesn't have a great sound. It's okay. So I got this to perform, like, if you need to play on a stage or something with an amplifier or hook it up to some equipment. This is useful. Later I want to get something that has a really beautiful sound, but with the humidity and not having heat or air conditioning, now is not the time to do that. They only had one electric acoustic, and it was a great opportunity. This is something that you can use to make songs and put them on the computer. So it was 77 degrees outside. Okay, so I went through the line and I had my tray, and at the end of the line were the two people that run this music charity, and they had a hand washing station. They had a hand washing. Uh, they were like, "Do you want to wash your hands?" I'm like, "Oh, I just washed them. Maybe I should do it after I eat." They're like, "Oh, it was a ceremony." And they said, "We're going to wash our hands like how Jesus washed his hands at the Last Supper." And so you can sit your plate down. So I'll put it back here because if I leave it, people mess with it. And then there was a place to put it right behind them. And they're like, "Oh yeah." And I thought it was foot washing, but I didn't argue. That's not the point. They had a station set up with hand washing, and it was symbolic of hand. They said how Jesus washed his hands at the Last Supper, and so then they took my hands and washed, like put my hands or poured water over my hands and wiped them with the rag. And they said, "Well, they're very clean." Well, probably not so much after the hand washing, but this was a ritual. And then I don't know, I went back up to get another water or something, and then another man was there talking to me, just like it was a foot washing. And then they were like, do you want me to wash your feet?" He's like, "Oh no." So he said it was a foot washing. So they did a hand washing, but last time it was a foot washing. So see, this is the reversal of what happened before. It's becoming undone. So Christ's army will not be defeated. Who loses this time? Let's see. Oh, of course, they had fried pork. And then I remembered last time that I got the fried stuff where they had fried pork in the same oil. That I was like a little more I was a little more quick to anger. Like I got a little I wasn't like quick. I got a little aggressive, more aggressive than normal, and I stood up and I just said things like with less caution than normal. And I thought this must be the pork spirits because I ate something that was fried in the same oil as pork, or what they said was turkey might have been pork. It might have because they couldn't tell. So this time they had fried pork and fried onions. So I didn't get any fried onions. I didn't get anything that was fried with the pork. And then they had something else with pork. So there was quite a lot of pork. So I didn't get very much food, I guess. Pork again. They keep serving pork. They're going to come under God's judgment. That is what I'm going to say. Oh, they had coffee. So this was good. They had coffee. I got to have like 3 cups of coffee, and I really enjoyed that. So I got my guitar. Oh, I played for him a little bit. I was going to do the ukuleles, but they gave me the guitar instead. And nobody else did this music class. There was also a health group going on at the same time, which I think that some enemies stayed and they went in this health group so that they could spy on me. So they could spy on me and kind of listen. Because none of them did the music charity group. It was only me. And then they had this medical thing for older people. It was like a medical seminar about some type of health insurance. Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? I don't think so. They were there because it was only a couple of tables away from where I was sitting. And the Chinese spy was there too. And he was in the back watching, probably recording and observing, and sending this back to China. But see, this Chinese spy is doing good because they're taking back information. So God has given me information, and I share that with them, and maybe try to be a good person. So then they record this and see that God protects me, and like this is the level of protection you can get from the Lord. And then they take this back to their country. So we want this Chinese spy here. If there are, I'm sure there's got to be chosen ones in China, but the government cracks down, and I'm not sure it's the same because they don't have the freedom to go out and talk about religion in public. but they can in church. So it's not the same situation. Me being here is a different situation. So this Chinese spy is basically living as homeless and is spying on me. And he will stay in the soup kitchen to spy too. So, um, and they pretend to be friendly and stuff, but you know, I don't mind him, but he did try to curse me. He tried to curse me that my dogs would ruin my new coat when I got a coat a few months ago. He tried to curse me with that. And then he complimented me on this funny looking outfit I got for free at the soup kitchen. He's like, "Oh, that outfit's cool." You know, and see, this is what they do. They compliment your clothes. This is what a lot of enemies do. They compliment your outfit, how you look, but they don't compliment anything inside. They don't judge on the measure that God judges. What the heck am I doing here? So I got my guitar. I played for him. I just figured out something else. Like I just made a little riff up, and so I played that for him. And they said, "Wow!" They were so I don't know, impressed by my guitar playing. But at the same time, like it's kind of their personality, so I don't know. Like it made me feel good that they were like, "Oh wow!" But at the same time, like I think they kind of say that for everybody. But it did feel good. Anyways, like um, when I showed up, I didn't have a bath in a while, and like I had my T-shirt on, and you could see my muscles. So like I had a stab. I got a stab mark on my face, and I was probably like sweaty, and then like my arm muscle looked like pretty big, and I noticed. Okay, so this man for the charity is a veteran, and I saw him look at my arm muscle. Like I saw him look at it, and um, it's not anything huge, but even though my muscles are not huge, they are there, and they are bigger than many men's muscles are, and that's simply because of the lifestyle that I live right now. Because all the crap I have to do. I have to bike everywhere. I have to mow my own yard. I have to move everything myself. Like nobody helps. So yes, I have some muscles. Apparently, this was impressive, I guess. But so, well, I saw him look I don't know. I don't think this is jealousy, but it could be. But these are good people. They're married. They seem really happy together. So it's a strange. Well, maybe he was just kind of like not expecting me to have like a nice like arm muscle. Like I had a nice arm muscle there. Yeah, I do because I'm like a soldier out in the field. I don't have a vehicle. I don't have anyone to help me move. I don't like everything that needs done. I have to do. And yes, I'm wearing my dirty clothes, and I got to go to the soup kitchen to take a shower. And I tell them, people are trying to kill me all the time, bro. Like right before Easter, they're trying to kill me. And then the woman who's like, but you've met some good people too. I'm like, yes, and she does, because I don't want to speak anything too bad into existence. I don't want to do that. But that is true, but not very many. I've met a lot more people trying to curse me. I think they were the only nice ones. But there's somebody else that might be, but they could also be an enemy. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, and whenever she says that, then it's like a check. Like, yes, I've met good people too. But I didn't tell her it's only you guys, and it's not these other 100 people here. But maybe there is. Maybe there are hidden allies. I think there's a few that they want me to do well, but they can't. They can't expose themselves, and they can't help. But they're like secretly rooting for me. That's possible. There might be people that like me, but they still don't help, and they don't, they don't really want to hang out or talk or anything. So it's strange, but I think this is God keeping me separated. Um, so then after this, I had planned to go to the old man's house who wanted to make the band, and yes, I did. When I left, he was in a great mood. But then he was left with the group of people from this meeting, and there was a lot of my enemies. He was there almost a half hour with these enemies. So then when I get to his house, he's really upset. and he's got like autism, so he can't handle his emotions very well. So he's very upset because because there's two-factor authentication to get into his computer and to get into his email. So since he doesn't have a phone, and he doesn't know how to use his wife's phone, and it's not working right, he can't get into his email, and he can't use his computer. So he was in a really bad mood. And I can't stand this two-factor authentication. And I was telling him, yeah, it does this to me. It's like the banks want you to have a cell phone to use your account. Like, I guess you can go into the branch if you don't have a cell phone and you have a problem. This is ridiculous. Um, I try to get rid of two-factor authentication wherever I can. Let's see. So, oh, did I write this down? But and he wanted me to play a little bit, and I started playing. I was a little nervous, and I messed up, and he was still in a bad mood. And like, cause he went all the way downstairs and back up and got the phone and tried something, it didn't work again. So it's not like he's upset with me, but he's really upset because he can't get into his account. And he wanted to make this band, and then of course he put in an application and didn't hear anything back yet. But then he went downstairs for a minute, and then asked if I could play his 12 string. Then after a minute, I start to play, and then it sounds like this time it sounded good when I play, and it's starting to sound pretty. Then he hears the music, and then he starts to get in a better mood, and he gets happier because it does sound good. The 12 string sounds really beautiful, actually. And then, and I tell him it'll be okay, it'll work out. And rebirth is after Easter, so then I bet everything will work after Easter. It's like this death before Easter, nothing works, computer dies, you don't get approved, and then right after Easter, probably everything will work out. So then he was kind of in a good mood, but it wasn't the time now. So he was in a good mood, and then I left, and I left the guitar there. But he was like, you might as well just take it and not even leave it, because I can't get into anything. But then after I played a little bit, like when he went downstairs and I was playing a little bit and came up and he could hear it, and then he heard the music, and the music made him happy. And then also I was just like, it's okay, it'll be fine, just like because maybe no one else is there to reassure that it will be okay. So, and he believes there's blessings that are going to come to, but he doesn't necessarily believe in witches and stuff. But I told him a few things. He doesn't have to believe in it, but he surely would be targeted by witchcraft if my enemies watched us talking and planned on meeting up. And I said, oh, it comes with me is that there are attacks, but there's also blessings. And I said, like, if something gets destroyed, that's because it's not good enough. Like it needs to be upgraded. This is something I thought. Like he had his music making software and stuff on his computer. But he would need a laptop anyways if we go and record at the center. So I was thinking, like, it's probably because there's something better that God is going to. There's something better God is going to give him, or God is going to put at this center. I don't know. But a laptop would be needed anyways. So I was thinking maybe getting a used laptop at the pawn shop or something. Or they do have like a month warranty on electronics at the pawn shop. Unlike Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, it was 77 degrees outside. Okay, went to the gym. I went to the spa area where I was being framed for like putting something on the equipment, because like after I would use something, there would be like something put on it. I should have asked him what it looked like. It's just something that wouldn't come off, something that wouldn't wash off. So then after I used the spa area, then I kind of stayed like in the hall and waited to see. And then I walked like towards the desk, and then all the employees were like in a group together talking to each other, and they weren't coming to like check the spa area right away. So this concerned me. They were all distracted. So possibly someone on the staff is also an enemy, or someone on the staff just has a demon and is distracting everyone else. So all the employees were at the front desk, and none of them were watching the spa area, which is back in the area behind the desk. And so then I went back. I went back there because I know that somebody was trying to frame me for putting stuff on this equipment. And then I see, and I'm kind of standing like back, so she couldn't see me going down the hall. And then a woman comes, and she's heading straight for. She's heading straight for the room I went to. She's heading straight for the room I was in. So somehow she knew which room I was in. Someone told her, which makes me think that one of their staff has to be in on it. Or someone is standing right next to it and they're listening. There has to be multiple people involved in this. Because somebody has to be right there, because they tell you what room to go in right before. They tell you what room to go in right before. They don't know beforehand. Just whichever one's ready. So then she knew which room I went in. So that makes me think one of their staff members is involved, is in on it, and told her what room to go in. She was heading right for that room, and she was like 5 feet away from it, and then she was heading straight for it, looking at it, and then I'm standing like, I don't know, like 5 feet out of her line of sight, and then she sees me, and then she turns and leaves. So it's like she was walking right for that open door with something ready to spray or put something on this equipment. And then she saw me, knew she was caught, and went straight outside. She went straight outside. And then I was leaving anyways. So then I went outside, unlocked my bike, and I started to bike away. And I see this woman, and she's from the Black Coven. She's one of the Black Witches. So then I see her as I'm leaving, and she's got like what looks like a brand new SUV. It's like one of those really expensive SUVs that like cost the same as my house. But she's got one of these, and she's putting something in the trunk. To go to the gym, you don't need to get in the trunk, but she had something on her, and she was putting it away. She was putting it away quickly because she couldn't go in that room, and she couldn't frame me, so she had to go to her car. And whatever she had to hide it in her trunk. So I caught one person. I don't know what their name is. This is one person, but for her to know what room I'm in makes me think that the staff is involved. There is an enemy working at Planet Fitness. Unless they have multiple, I guess they could have like a shadow person or something that you can't see standing there spying, but no, normally it's just very physical. They have people listening and they tell each other. It's too much work. It's too much work to do that type of magic. It's like you got to sit in a circle and chant and use mirrors and stuff for 8 hours. That's too much work. You know, they don't want to do that. So if they don't need to, they're not going to. Let's see. So I also had one of the little cards and I wrote Polytarsus on it and slipped it under the keyboard. Maybe someone will see it. Now I did not tell the staff. I had to go. So I left. I went to the soup kitchen. When I was going through the line, they called seconds at some point. Then I go get in the line again. And then I just saw somebody with like an M&M cookie. I'm like, could you have an M&M cookie or a rainbow cookie? And then they said, I don't know if we have any left. And they dug through the whole thing and found one. I'm like, yes. And I was so happy because they had giant cookies. So I got one with the M&Ms on it. And then the man that was right in front of me, they're all enemies. But anyways, and he's like, what? He's like, well, I want an M&M cookie. And then she found another one too, and she traded him. And then he gave her, and he got the M&M cookie. This is when I went back and sat down. Then he came over and he went to hand me that M&M cookie because he saw I wanted it. And I said, "Oh, I'm not allowed to take stuff from anyone, no, but thank you." And then he got that cookie just to give to me to curse me because he knows I like it. Yeah, I said I would love to take it, but I can't take things from anyone. It was it was a curse. They're trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me. I can't like add any more curses. So the first curse, if the ditch was my pen and screwed itself or something, um, I don't need any more curses. Oh, then the woman that worked there came and handed me a banana. And it was like a really good looking banana, too. It was like a fresh one. It wasn't like brown or old like most of the bananas at the soup kitchen. And I actually saw one man there. I don't know if he was starting to come towards my side, but he doesn't like me like this. But then sometimes he kind of is like receptive and like opens up. Like he seems almost like he kind of likes me, but then he goes back to not liking me. But then she had a bunch of bananas and was handing them out. And right before and he was raising his hand like he wanted one. And right before she got to him, then she ran out and didn't see him. And I even thought about giving him the banana, but then I wanted the banana, and I was going to eat the banana, but I kind of thought I might give him the banana, you know, but I didn't. So maybe when I got up and left, he was gone. I don't know. I wasn't going to get up and walk like 4 tables down right at that moment. But I thought about it. I thought about giving him the banana, and I thought, I like this. You know, I've already gotten cursed. She gave me the banana. I'm cursed. She didn't give it to me to be nice. I am cursed now. And so maybe he doesn't know that. Well, he probably does. So he wanted the banana, but she gave me the banana so I would be cursed. And that banana disappeared too. I put it in the side of my bag where my napkins are. And I guess it fell out and got lost. So that was a curse. I think that was the curse, the banana curse. I wanted this banana. I didn't give it to the other guy. I put it in my bag in the side pocket, and I lost it. It probably fell off when I was getting in my bike. I lost it. So maybe that was the curse. Well, I bought some bananas from Walmart, so. But yeah, I got a curse for that, and I didn't even get to eat it. Yeah, I got they have a free thing in the back with some clothes, and there's a pair of shoes sitting there a couple days. I tried it on, and I took them. Because some of the shoes that I got from the other soup kitchen, I liked them, but then I tried to walk in them, and I couldn't. They killed my feet. um, so then a woman that might be like I say the second in command, she's a manager, but she's there like most of the time now. So she said she might have more. She has more shoes like that. Maybe she'll bring them in so that I'll be cursed if I get the shoes. But you know, if God is turning this stuff around after Easter, then maybe I'll just get the shoes and there's no more curses because it's the rebirth. It could be like it doesn't even work at all after Easter. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Um, I saw the narcissist at the soup kitchen, and I told him about how I went to Facebook and just the feed. It shows posts like in your feed, and it showed that they had this. It was this ball, like a sober dance. It was like a prom for people that were recovering from addiction, and everyone went. No one invited me. They got me sick, and they didn't offer me a ride. And they all went, and then the whole group they got their makeovers, and I was thinking, I was told I have a Cinderella anointing. And it's kind of funny because they went and got the makeovers, the hair and the makeup and stuff done. And then this prom where they give you dresses, you get to pick out, like they got all these dresses, and you get to pick one out. And then they went to this prom, which is a ball. And then they didn't want me to go. They got me sick, didn't invite me, and didn't take me to this. And so everyone else went. and then when I saw the pictures, I'm like, oh, I saw that there was that dance thing. I wasn't really sure what day it was, but you know, that's too far for me to bike. And then so this is a weird thing because he's tried to kill me and he's tried to get me, and he was the one that got me sick. But he doesn't know for sure. I think he knows I know. I know he knows. Well, maybe he doesn't know. He doesn't know if I know or not, or he thinks I know, but he's not really 100% sure. So he's pretending like he doesn't know that I know what they're doing. So he has to pretend like he's still a friend. He's like, oh, well, you have to get. Well, you got to ride with us, silly. You know, he was saying like, oh, I, I could have given you a ride. Like this, like it's so exaggerated. Yeah, right. But that they intentionally did not invite me and got me sick, so I couldn't go. But actually, I was much better by then. I probably could have went because I had antibiotics. So, but then he pretends like nothing happens and is like, "Oh well, that's why you ride with us, silly." And I said, "Well, how often does this happen?" He said, "We didn't have one for a long time, like a few years." Like, okay, well, I'll go to the next one. I'll go to the next one. And but they did. It did look like they had fun. It did look like they had a lot of fun at this. So I don't even like to dance, but maybe if there's people there. But I guess it'd just be another chance for them to try to get me. So it's probably best I didn't go. It's probably best. Um, I saw a puppy man. There was an enemy man who was homeless, but he doesn't look like he's homeless. And I guess he dated this witch that just tried to murder me the other night. But now they're not dating anymore, and I guess they're staying together. But they argue and fight, and it's not good. Of course not. Who wants to get up in the middle of the night and do witchcraft stuff? Anyways, I told him, like, he said he might go to this group that they had. And I said, oh, shoot, I just told this woman I'm going to the anime club. Do you want to go to there's an anime club tonight. I said, I already said I would. And they know. When I say I'm going to do something, when I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. And I told him, like, you weren't at that Bible study. Why weren't you there? And I said, this is integrity. That when you say you're going to be somewhere, you should be there. Just like God. Let's see. He said he might go to the library. We said, I might not. I might walk down towards the library. Had to get clearance from the coven, I guess. No, I went to the anime club. I went to the anime club alone and in safety. And the anime club isn't like super fun or anything. But actually, I haven't seen any of the new anime, so I just got to watch TV shows and not be murdered. Oh, God will allow me to be killed, but not evade being murdered. Not have people. It's 5:30 and I didn't get any sleep. So, but people would have been trying to kill me or embarrass me or to get secret info on me to use against me had I went to this other meeting. So then I stayed at the anime club. I did. I stayed at both parts. It was 2 hours. So no, I did not go and hang out with the witches and warlocks. I hang out with the anime fans. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, so the homeless man who does not look homeless. He looks like he's fine, like he could just go get a job anywhere. But instead he works for the coven and does what they say and they it makes it hard for him to get a job. He could just go get a job and move on with his life. I would think that would be the best. But instead they send him to mess with me. It's not going to be good because God's going to render judgment. But anyways, he said he might go to the library, but this is what they do. They lie. The kingdom of darkness always lies. They never tell the truth unless they have an event set up for me to go to, and then they'll take me there to try to get me. So that's a little different. But they didn't plan this. It was something else. So I guess he wasn't allowed to go because there was no tricks there. And they also don't want them to have fun outside of the coven. Like if he went to the group and actually enjoyed himself, that's not good either. They want him to be controlled. Um, I thought I saw the Chinese spy sleeping in the library. I don't know. But then I went to check again because I was going to tell him about the anime club. And then there was a different man there. I think I'd seen at the soup kitchen before. He was like, "Oh, hey." And I just talked to him for a minute. He just got off his shift at work and how hard it was, how hard they work him at this job. And then I just said something like, "It seems the people that work the least get paid the most, and the people that work the most get paid the least." He totally agreed with this. And I also mentioned something like, "This is the end times. They're going to lose their jobs or something. This is like justice taking place. They're allowed to do whatever they want, and then they're gonna get karma for it." But yeah, he totally agreed. The people like in fast food places and working like shipping packages and things, like they are moving so fast. Um, they're doing 3 times as much work as the other jobs, and they're getting paid less. And then, like I just made a video on this. The recovery centers where they basically sit around and do nothing and then do arts and crafts projects, then they probably pay themselves $100,000 a year. They probably pay themselves $100,000 a year to just play around, put Google eyes on things, and to color flowers. This is what the taxpayer money is being used for. It is, okay? When you want to get together in a group and you want to help people, that's great, but it shouldn't be a job that pays $100,000. As you have people working like in slave factories, making just hardly anything, like a fraction of that. And these people are sitting, relaxing, having fun, making videos of themselves where they look cool and we're the heroes. They're doing nothing, and they're paying themselves all this money. And I just thought of that. And then I see him, so I made this video, and then I see this man the next day, right after I made this video. And then that influenced what I said. Like, the people that work the least make the most. And I'm thinking about this mental health recovery place where, like, one of the buildings, not the other one seems fine, but one of them, like, there's hardly anyone in there, and they don't really work or anything. And they just play around and don't do much. Apparently, it looks like it to me, because I've showed up unannounced, and there'll be like one person in there sitting on a couch, and they're not working. And they're probably making $100,000 a year. What's going on here? Just go watch my other video. Someone unsubscribed from my channel because of that video. That's fine. It's the truth. It's the truth. Yeah, so Puppy Man is still there with his puppies. This is probably an attack on me. He used to go to the other soup kitchen on the other side of town. He walked all there, or maybe they dropped him off, I don't know. But then he just started going to the soup kitchen I go to most of the time, and he has puppies. And of course, the animal shelter just got some puppies in, so he probably got some from there. But they probably sent him in because I like puppies, and they know that. So, but I don't have any problem. Even if he likes to murder, he's not trying to murder me. Maybe they just think, like, because he might murder, like, if I get close because I like puppies, that maybe. No, I'm not going to be killed. I'm not a pushover, but I'm not out to cause trouble. What's going on here? So the anime club, like all of the shows are about angels and demons. I knew they were years ago. I haven't seen anime in a long time. The new ones are even more so. They're about the hybrids, the Nephilims, except for the one they're trying to say they're good. No, they're not. They're narcissists. They're narcissists are not good. None of them are. Actually, I want them to repent. Well, I don't know. I guess maybe some of them could. Maybe some have flipped. Maybe some have. I don't know. I hope they can. I prayed that this one narcissist will grow a heart. And he's even got like a Grinch keychain, so I think he might. I don't know. I think he might. Maybe they can. I'm hoping they can, like, cause it says in the Quran that if you go through the motions, then God will change your mind or your heart. So if you don't really care, or if you don't really believe in God, but you start doing the right thing and helping others and not hurting them, then God will grow a heart in you and change your mind. This is what the Quran says. So this is hope for narcissists. But the thing is, he's doing good things, but it's like in an attempt to hurt people. So that doesn't count. The intention is to hurt people. It's like do the same good deeds, but with the intention to help, and then God will grow you a heart, I believe, based on what I've read here. As the Quran is like it's got the basic instructions that aren't in the Bible. Some of it are, but like it's like the basic rules of how to live your life and like family and marriage structure and things like that is in the Quran. Stuff that is not in the Bible and gets misused. It because it's not in the Bible, then people oppress each other. So the Quran just clarifies and puts it's just like the rules you add to Christianity is essentially. It's really important. So it tells you the way things work, and it's very easy to understand. It's such a powerful book that they tell you it's from the devil, but it's not from the devil. The Lord told me it's from him. And I read it and I knew this. And I also believe the Book of Mormon is from God. There are more texts than what King James removed. King James removed some texts. There's more books in the Vatican as well. But the Quran is a good book to read. As if you don't need to know any of the history or what happened, and just here's the rules and what happens, and this is what you're supposed to do, then read the Quran. That's just the instructions. So yeah, I think someone sprayed my dog again, I think. Because he was almost starting to not smell as bad, and then he smelled worse again. I think somebody came back and sprayed him again. He's right here. Okay, so the animes, there was one about like evil cats trying to turn everything into a cat. But see, that's also demons or cats mixed with other things. Just animals or angels mixed together is demons. So just that weird genetic mixing is what the fallen angels did, is what I'm saying. And that created the demons. And it created Nephilims. Or wait, Nephilim. Well, anyways. I know that in my ex was a Nephilim. He was the devil. He was a serpent. But there was many demons that possessed the serpent. It's so weird. It's like it was a serpent that's possessed with demons instead of a human possessed with demons. And that's because I saw it. I saw him like coming out through the body. It was so weird. Okay. No. So then after the first anime group, they said, do you have to go to another group? They said, I know you guys don't understand this, but there's witches, and they make groups just to invite me to it. And I said, I don't really want to go. I think I'll just stay here today. I'll stay. They don't really understand, and I don't know that they really believe in God. So maybe that's why God has sent me here. Maybe God has sent me here. Anyways, and I tell them, I told him a few other things. I told him about like I told him about the narcissists and they were talking about like theft or how it was safer in Japan, and the most stolen items in Japan are umbrella and bicycle. And I said, well, that's because everybody has an umbrella and a bicycle. Like here, most people don't have bikes, but there, like everyone does, and everyone has an umbrella. So of course it's the most stolen. But then I talked about there's a ring. So I know the people in this bike, I don't know all of them, but I know some of the people. So the narcissist has got his gang of addicts that he pays to go and steal bikes, to steal parts off bikes. and then they get the pieces, put them together, and sell the bikes. And since they're criminals or they're on drugs, they don't get regular jobs. And also, the narcissist gives them drugs and beer because they can't get sober, because then they won't be slaves. They'll have some freedom. So, anyways, they seem they seem to think that was interesting, so that's good. The police apparently haven't shut it down because I guess a used bike isn't worth enough. But it is important. Because first of all, these are the crime rings of Satanists, and they've stabbed and murdered. But also, when we go out biking, our bikes aren't safe. This is a quality of life thing where everybody should be able to have a bike and park it, and it's not messed with. No one slashes a tire. No one breaks the gears. No one steals something off of the bike. Like, you can just go and leave your bike, and then you can trust that it'll be there when you get back. Yeah, so why don't the police take them out? This is seriously, like, not ruining or making everybody's lives worse. It's making everyone's lives worse. That they won't, I don't care if you're not getting any money. If you're not getting any money to steal, because the bike theft ring is involved in a lot more crime. They're involved in drug dealing, drugs, murder, stabbings, and yeah, maybe they mainly just steal bikes and sell bikes, but they are involved in a lot of other crime. And that's the reason why they can't go and get regular jobs. They don't want regular jobs. Because they use drug addiction to keep their members in line. Like, the narcissist controls the gang members by giving them drugs. So, by shutting down this bike ring, that's the way that they make money. So it will actually, like, help everyone in our whole city be able to just bike without their bike being damaged or stolen. And then it'll actually shut down a lot of the activities, because I think that's the main way they make money. Oh, and they mentioned a pawn shop. So this was supposed to happen at the anime club towards the end. The second part, I wasn't sure. Like, God, do you want me to stay here? Or do you want me to go to that other meeting? And I decided, you know what? I don't even really want to go to that. And I told him, I'm invited to stuff. I don't even really want to go to it. I'll stay here tonight. And I told him that, because they're probably going to try to kill me over there anyways. I'll stay here at the anime club, even though we're not watching any more shows we're going to talk about. So, I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about anime. As one of the librarians then comes down and talks about anime with everyone else. I'm like, well, it's either this or go to the other meeting where they're going to try to kill me. So I'm going to stay. And I'm going to, but I don't know how to answer these because I don't even watch TV. So I don't know. It's like I was in a prison for 40 years. Like, I didn't even really watch TV when I was still fake married to the devil. Like, for a few years. We used to watch shows together, and then, like, he devalued me, I guess, to where we no longer watch shows together. And then I've been here, and, like, my TVs are not, like, my house is damaged, so yeah, they're not working right now. I don't know. They might work if you plug them in. The room they're in, the room that the TV is in is ruined, and then there's one here behind this other screen. I can only see TV at the gym, essentially. I don't know what animes are playing, so then. But they mentioned about pawn shops at the second part of this group, and then that got me to thinking about pawn shops. I planned on, and so actually this is one thing. When I went to see the old man who wanted to make the band, he mentioned, the group that we were supposed to go to on Friday, I think it's closed. I think they're not having it because of Good Friday. So he said that, and we were alone, so that the enemies weren't there to overhear. They probably were expecting me at this building on Friday. But when I went to his house, then he said, I think they're not having the group tomorrow because of Good Friday. And then thank you, Lord. See, this is how the Lord works. Because he mentioned to me in the group in front of the enemies, but then when I went to his house, he's like, oh, they're not having it. So I'm like, oh, I won't go. And I thought, they're trying to kill me before Easter, and this is Friday. And my father sent me some money and told me to buy food or whatever I need, like toilet paper or something. He sent me $100 to get food or toilet paper. And this was just out of the blue. I don't, or maybe he said it was, maybe he thinks it's for Easter, I don't know, or just for no reason. I don't understand. But I know this is the Lord. The Lord was telling me I was sick. People are trying to kill me. So then I had like half of this money left. And I decided I'm staying home on Friday. I'm staying home on Saturday. I'm going to use this money. He told me, like several, maybe a month or two ago, he sent me money and told me to get a Walmart membership so I could have food delivered to my house if I couldn't go out. And then right before, or actually as I was sick and could hardly talk, he called me that day and I could hardly talk on the phone. And then he said he's sending money to get food or whatever I need. And so then actually I did, I spent some of it then, and I didn't like go out when I was, I stayed home like a day or so when I was sick. And then Good Friday, I know they're trying to kill me before Easter. So Good Friday and Saturday, which is tomorrow, I got food. No soup kitchen today. I did not go to the soup kitchen. So, yeah, that was my father. I know he's an enemy. But he's like he's Ahab. He's in the middle. He likes me too, I think. I don't know. He like tries to get me, but he also tries to help me. He does both. He does both, but he doesn't care that my family does bad things to me. He sides with them over me, but he still helps me sometimes. And I think this is when God tells him to. Because this was God's plan that I not go out today. So he was used. Because I don't have, like, I'm in debt right now, so I'm not going to spend money on food. But he sent me this money and said, he didn't say to use it to pay down my debt. He said to use it to get food or what you need. And this is a sign to me. Stay home. But then they did mention, or don't go to the soup kitchen. Not necessarily stay home. Don't go to the soup kitchen. Don't eat food that other people give you. So I guess if this is a reversal, I missed the Seder dinner. I'm ritually unclean. I am unbathen. I have dirty clothes. I missed the holidays. I'm alone. I did a hand washing instead of a foot washing. So, let's see. Oh, I was going to say, at the soup kitchen, though, on Thursday. So I didn't go on Wednesday. It was like flash flooding and the roads were flooded. That's what I didn't go in. And I was also sick, I think. So, when I went to the soup kitchen on Thursday for lunch, there's like sometimes people from different churches like will come in to serve the food and volunteer. And I think they curse the food or they put pork in it and lie about it. I don't know. But they want to get me. And I wasn't sure if they just didn't like me or if they want to get me. I don't know. But I think some of them want to get me or are involved in this. There's a group of the church people. I think they're from a certain church. And they saw me. So they are involved in this whole murder plot. They were volunteering. They were behind the counter. And then I went towards them. And they had a look like. They had a look on their face like they expected me to be killed. Actually, they were kind of like they were a little sad or startled that I wasn't dead, that I was in there, and then they were also like kind of like I want to say like grossed out, but like they kind of like didn't like me like this, but then also like a little sad, like or startled or upset that I was there. Because they were hoping that I would. They apparently hired a hitman to kill me with a knife, to stab me. And then the next day, or I don't know. Wait, that was Tuesday. Or no, that was Monday. They hired someone to stab me on Monday. And this did not happen. But this church, these people from the church don't come in all the time. Maybe they come in once a month or twice a month or something. Actually, I saw him last week. But then the way they looked at me, they're like, ugh. Like, I don't, like that person. and then like the look of kind of bewilderment, like they expected me to be dead and gone, and here I am, and it was like disappointed, and also they don't like me. So this is what the church people did. They follow the Pauline doctrine. This is the devil's system. Devil has many systems. It's a fake Christianity, blood sacrifice. It's like black witchcraft, blood sacrifice. This is not of the Lord. This is not of God. Read the red letters only and see what it says. But anyways, I'm just finding out more and more that almost every church, they don't like me and they want to murder me. Yeah, so I lost my banana. Okay, so that was that day. And then I went home and I was still alive. Was still alive. Okay, so today I stayed home and I ordered my food at Walmart. Today is Friday. It is Good Friday. Okay, no soup kitchen where they try to kill me and have all types of hired hitmen there. I'm sure they do. Oh my gosh, this is why I forgot to. I need to write this down. At the gym, on the Thursday. So at the gym on Thursday, I was in the massage chair like this, and then I look, and then the big giant guy who looks evil, like peeks his head in and looks at me in the massage chair. He was like some villain in a '90s movie. Like, where do they even find these people? Like, no one looks like that. They get the big, like, evil-looking guy, like some Russian weightlifting gangster or government agent, like assassin. This is what it looks like that comes in and looks at me in the massage chair. Just, like, I'm not afraid, but like, they're finding I don't, maybe this is the government super soldiers. I don't know. Yeah, he looked like like in a Van Damme movie or something, like the bad guys where they're big and strong, and like I don't know exactly. I'm just thinking. So then a guy like that comes and looks into like it's in the spa area, and he looks and he sees me in the massage chair, looks right at me. He went in there. They send people. I see like a big guy walking up and down my street. This is not someone that's normally there. They're sending killers. They've been sending killers. I'm on a bike. I'm very fast. But also, I believe if somebody tries to get me, they're not going to win. See, the power of the Lord will possess my body, as the Lord will possess my body and will destroy you and rip you into pieces. Doesn't matter if you are 350 pounds. As if it is not the Lord's will, then you cannot kill me. Let's see. Good boy. I think someone sprayed him with skunk spray again. This is, I said, God, send extra, like, not extra, send karma to whoever. This is a horrible thing. Like, they try to kill me all the time, but what they did to my dog, to where I can't love him and take him on walks and do that stuff right now, like, it's like, send them karma. They need, don't mess with the dog. What is the matter with you? Oh, another thing is there was just a shirt. There was just a shirt laying in the road right next to my yard. So if I went and picked it up, I'm sure it'd be cursed. They put the shoes right in my driveway. If I pick it up, I'm sure it'll be cursed. Well, guess what? The shoes were gone today. So maybe someone else came and got them. But yeah, someone put shoes. They put sandals in my driveway. And then there was good boy. There was an SUV sitting there. This looks like a new $60,000, $70,000 car. And then it's just sitting there. And they got the sandals in my driveway. And then as soon as I look at the sandals, then they drive away. Like they are paid to sit there and watch if I get the sandals or not. This is ridiculous. And then they put a shirt in the road. I will not pick up shirts from the road. I don't trust any shirts laying in the road. Even if they weren't cursed, I'd assume they're probably dirty. Okay, so anyways. I stayed home, I ordered food, but it wasn't going to be here till like 3 to 5. And then I got up, I had some coffee, I made a ramen noodle I had left, and And then I started to think, I want to take some items to my booth. I want to take some items to my booth today. It's going to be Sabbath later, and I'm going to be in the house for like 2 days. I want to get out. So I'll go out, but I won't go to the soup kitchen. So then the booth where I sell my items is pretty close to the soup kitchen, but I'm able to get there without going right next to it. So the Lord ordered my steps today. Oh, I'm going to say they were casting witchcraft on me about bleeding. This is embarrassing. This is the truth. I know they were casting witchcraft spells on me about bleeding a lot, about losing blood. I know they were doing this something when they put that screw or that nail in my pancakes, and then it was metal, and then it turned into blood, and then it disappeared, and then you still see the red on the napkin. Like it was a black, I thought it was a screw, but it was a nail shaped like a screw because it didn't have the treads on it. So it was like a black metal nail. And then it turned into blood, like just like blood. Like if you pulled your tooth out and then there was a string of blood, it was just like that. This is some type of weird witchcraft. I have never seen this in my life. I don't even know how you would do this. It has to be spiritual. So they were casting, and if I ate a little bit of this, they were casting spells on me that I would bleed. And they casting spells on me that I would be stabbed. So I stabbed myself in the face. I stabbed myself in the face. Like I never do this, but I did this the day before they sent someone to stab me. And then they've been casting spells that I bleed or die or something. So what happened is that and they casted spells that I would have stomach trouble from these antibiotics. So I had to go to the bathroom like 5 times, and then I was having bleeding, and I just kept bleeding. And then I realized, because I was having bleeding at the end of my relationship with the devil, I was bleeding a lot too. And I noticed, this is witchcraft. This was witchcraft. They either put something in my food, or they curse. And actually, I noticed, my antibiotic bottle was screwed open. And maybe I just didn't close it all the way, but I always close it. This is unusual. So they either did some, because it was my pill. You couldn't replace it. I mean, did they put magic on it? I don't know how this works. Because I asked the people that run the music charity, I asked if they could watch my bag while I went to the bathroom, because I can't leave it. And they did. And I thought they were trustworthy. When I came back, my antibiotics were in my bag, and they were unscrewed. Like they weren't closed. Just like my pen sometimes is unscrewed. So I don't understand, because I thought they were good. So it's possible a spirit did this, and it's something invisible. Or I don't think it's likely because that I didn't close it. Because I always close it. I'm the type of person, I'm definitely going to make sure that my food or my pills and stuff are closed before I put them away. I'm careful like that. I've never not closed my pill bottle as far as I can remember, as an adult. So maybe someone did something to it, because I had to go to the bathroom 2 or 3 times this morning, and I was bleeding a lot, and a lot of blood. And so I think this is the witchcraft. They intended to use this spell to kill me, but instead I just had stomach troubles, and I'm going to be okay. But they used a spell to stab me, and I stabbed myself. And it was not that bad, but it doesn't look good. Used a spell to make me bleed. Well, I don't know what you want me to say here. I went to the bathroom, and whatever you guys do, if you did something to my medication, yes, I was bleeding a lot. But I am not going to die. I'm actually feeling better now. Even with the bleeding, I am feeling better than normal. So maybe these antibiotics killed something else. They've probably been poisoning me or giving me all types of things, all types of germs and sicknesses. Who knows what all I had being with the devil. He probably gave me a bunch of diseases and things. And then taking these antibiotics probably killed, so I'm probably feeling a lot better now for that. I feel like a rush of energy now. So this is unusual. I thought, I want to go and drop some items off at my booth. And when I showed up, actually, on the way, there was a bunch of fire trucks. This is very unusual. This is the Lord. I see fire trucks all the time, but When I see a lot and their sirens are going, this is different. I'll see like one or two a lot of the time. But today was different. There was a lot of fire trucks on my way to my booth. This was the Lord redirecting me. They had hitmen stationed. I know they had to. Because right at the traffic circle where I turned to go to the soup kitchen, that's where all the fire trucks with their sirens were. So then I had to turn early. I turned a few blocks. Actually, I turned like 3 or 4 blocks before, um, probably 3 blocks before the traffic circle. And I saw the fire trucks, and they were stopped right at the traffic circle. They know this is the way I go. So then I went to the other way. And then I went the back way to my booth, so that I could go where they wouldn't see me, where the people at the soup kitchen wouldn't see me. I went around that. So there's like train tracks. It's on the other side, and I went around. And so then I go in, put my items in, and well, did anything happen there? Oh, I made $4 this month. The rent is $45, and I only sold $49. So technically, I lost money. I lost money because the items I sold cost more than that. The items I sold cost more than that. Which said it was a bad month for everybody. But whatever, it's just another loss. But actually, I made $4. I have $4 bills in my bag now that I didn't before. And I got rid of some stuff that I paid more for than $4. But if somebody gets it and they like it, God's gonna take care of this. And it's easier for me to put the items there and somebody just buys it. I just hope more people buy items. When I went to sign up for a booth, they showed me, oh, this person made $418 with their booth this month. I'm like, oh, well then I started loading it up. I made $4. But when I was in there, actually, I gotta write this down too. Like, I prayed over my booth though. Oh, okay, I was a little concerned that I would actually owe money because so few items had sold. But really, there's great stuff in there. But this is the end times, and so like all the kingdom of darkness is busy, like hunting down chosen ones right now. They're almost out of time, so they're not out shopping. They're not out shopping. But I think after Easter they will be. So then maybe I will make money next month. but this month was not good. They said like they got a little bit of time left to kill the chosen ones, or at least me. Different chosen ones have different roles. Mine apparently is to be killed. Mine is to be killed. Um, yeah, mine is to be killed. Um, and it was said something said like if I am the bride of Christ, of course they would have killed me. I'm not saying that for sure. There could be 144,000 bride of Christ. Okay, I'm not trying to claim I'm the only one. What I'm saying is that with this, like in each town, if there's one, then they will be targeted and try to be assassinated. So all of the gangs, all of the covens, all of the criminals, all of the hitmen are trying to get us. They're using all their money and resources and time to try to get us, or at least me. But I believe there's probably, I don't know, are there others? Are there others being hunted down and targeted? This is possible. It's like Elijah, there were 7,000 others. So maybe there's 143,999 other people being hunted right now in this sense. But there's also children being hunted anyways, at all times. Young children. And they use this to possess them with spirits and to make agents for the kingdom of darkness. This is horrible what they do to cause dissociative disorder by abusing children. I'm not saying other people don't have it rough, but I'm saying in my situation, they were trying to kill me before Easter. So then I was only in there a little while. I put my items in. I talked to the woman a minute, and then she gave me my thing. I was like, yes, my goal was not to owe money, and I made $4. I'm like, okay. Even though she bought half the items it sold, maybe she did that so I wouldn't lose a lot of money my first month and be disappointed. But she said everyone had a tough month. Well, maybe this month, April, will do really well. Maybe April will do good because they're not going to be allowed to kill me anymore, I guess. I think they have a deadline. I don't know. No, they still will. But like there was a deadline where they wanted to kill me before this date. Um so then when I left, I was only in there like 10 minutes maybe. Then when I left, I hear the train, like the noise of the train, like a bell or something. And then I'm like, oh, okay, now there's the train tracks. Most of the time there's no train, but when the train goes, then you have to go a different way. You have to go a few blocks down and underneath of a bridge. So there's an underpass. And this is actually, so the way I would normally leave my booth would put me like really close to the soup kitchen, like at the end of the block, so people that go to the soup kitchen might see me, or there might be enemies posted there. So the way I would normally leave my booth would be right like, so there's a block with the soup kitchen, and then the end of that block is the road I would go. But instead, the train started coming, and I heard the train sound. And like, oh, that's my sign, no soup kitchen today. I could have went to the soup kitchen right then and gotten dinner. It was right that time I could have gotten free dinner. But I didn't want to be killed. And God wouldn't let me be killed, but it's like, it probably would not be good. It would not be good. Nothing good would happen. Like, why make things worse? So then I heard it, and I think this was just to, like, for me going out and thinking, hey, I want to put items in my booth, is just to let me know the level of criminal activity and murderers and hitmen trying to get me right now. This is wild. So then they just mentioned a pawn shop last night, and then I looked up pawn shops on the computer, and I saw there was one near my booth on my way back. So then when I was leaving, I went the opposite way and around so that the people from the soup kitchen wouldn't see me. And then I went a few blocks down to where there was a pawn shop. And then I was going to lock my bike up outside, and they said, oh, come on in. And then they let me bring my bike in, and I talked to them a bit. And they had some items in there. I'm not going to say what, but they had some items in there that were good. Unfortunately, I asked, like, I have some of this stuff, can I bring it? Like, no, we're not taking any of that. So they won't buy it. So this is not a way for me to make money. God doesn't want me to make money at the pawn shop, because what I have, they did not want to buy. But I looked around, and they had actually some things there that I liked and was on my wish list. Like 1, 2, maybe 3 things I could use, if not more, were there. 4 or 5 things that I liked. And then I wrote them down, and I wrote down the price. I'm not buying anything now, but it was good to go in and see what they had. But it was also to let me know I had something I thought the pawn shop would take, and they said, no, we're not taking this right now. Well, that's probably good, because it's probably worth more than what it's probably worth more than what it's being sold for, and we'll find out when they flip to a new currency, as the dollar is dead. But anyways, yeah, I went there and I looked online, and I actually saw like some items that would be useful for what's going on in my life at the pawn shop. So this was something I would not have considered. I would not have thought about this if I did not go to the anime club. At the anime club, at the end, at the second section, this is God confirmed me. What was I supposed to stay at the second half of, or there was 2 parts of the anime club. First part, you watch movies or shows. Second part, you have a discussion, because the librarian is not allowed to stream shows. So they had to cut it up into 2. So I actually stayed for the second part, even though I don't really know much about the new shows or anything. I stayed for the second part. And this was maybe the confirmation from the Lord, is this is what I was supposed to do. As it was the sign I was supposed to go to the anime club, because that woman I just stopped in the library one day, and the woman from the club was in there. And she was in the quiet room, so we couldn't talk much, but she told me about the anime. I asked her about the anime club, and she said this week. So then I stayed for the second part, and they told me about the pawn shop. The pawn shop is also where the young thief goes. I think that's the one the young thief goes to. And he's selling his items in the pawn shop. But I don't know what he would be selling, because he said he was going to the pawn shop. Well, I don't know. He was going to the pawn shop, but I didn't see him really having anything on him. And they said that, so it'd probably only be larger items that they would be buying. So I don't understand what he would have that they would purchase. I don't know. Because I would assume he stole something and was going to the pawn shop to get money for it. But he said he was going to the pawn shop, but I didn't see him carrying bags or anything. So maybe he went for a different reason. I hope he went for a different reason. Maybe if he had pawned something that wasn't his, he could get it back and give it back. I don't know. I don't know. I'm only guessing. But that was unusual. Because if you're going to the pawn shop, but you're not carrying anything, and he wouldn't have a lot of money, maybe he did have a little money and was wanting to buy something. So, yeah, there's a lot of fire trucks. They caused me to go a different route. I'm like, this is the Lord. There's just a bunch of fire trucks, and they're like making me go down this road. Yeah, the one-way road where there was no, or that wasn't one way. This road, there's a lot of traffic on. Oh, that's what it was. So I went down the road with a lot of traffic, and that would not be a good place for a killer to sit. So that was smart. And then I went the back way, and then when I left my booth, then the train was coming, so I had to go back around. That was really smart. And then I stopped at the pawn shop, and then I made it back home. And my Walmart delivery was there, but like I thought, they had a lawnmower at the pawn shop. I'm like, there was a lawnmower there. So if my lawnmower was broken, I could go and buy it. And I thought, I better see if mine works because my grass is starting to get high. And they charge like $400 here. If you got high weeds and you don't cut your grass, like if your weeds get too high, they'll charge you $400 here. It's nuts. So I thought I need to go try my lawnmower and see if it still works because I haven't used it yet this year. And it does start up. It does start up, and I just start mowing. And so then I'm getting real hot and sweaty. I mow fast, and I got a little dizzy. Like I'm still on medication, and I didn't drink much. I did drink, but not enough yet. So I mowed my whole yard, then brought my stuff in. My food was no longer hot. But yeah, sick, like biking. Oh, this is what I forgot to say. At the pawn shop, they had the gun that I wanted. There was only two guns I really wanted, and this was the other gun that I wanted. They had at this local pawn shop. Now it's expensive. I'm not buying it. I'm saying this was one thing that was on my eventual purchase list, and they have it at the pawn shop. It's more expensive than it should be, but okay. So, anyways, when I leave the pawn shop, that's the only thing I'm saying, because I'm not interested in any of the other guns. There's only one gun there that I wanted, and if it sells, then the price was not really low, so I could get it that price somewhere else. So I'm not really concerned about someone going in and buying every gun because you don't know which one I want. You don't know which gun I like. And I don't have money to buy a gun anyways. So I don't really have to worry about someone going in and buying a gun because really the price was more than I would want to pay anyways. But when I left there, then the police, it's like police were going. I start biking like, so I leave the pawn shop and I start biking, like I go down the next road. So my road, okay, this is what I did. Okay, so the road the pawn shop was on was like 2 blocks over from my road. So then I head to my road. I get on my road, then I start to bike like 1 or 2 more blocks, and then the police are going like crazy. This is not normal. Then I hear the siren, I see it coming behind me, and then I go onto the sidewalk, and it's supposed to be like 25 miles per hour. This cop is flying. It's going like 60 miles per hour or something. It's really fast. Like the cop is flying. I know, and there's more cops. And then I keep going up the road and up to the top of the hill. So a half mile from my house is the top of the hill. And then there's a hospital by my house. So basically you have to go around the hospital. So everywhere when I go to this side, I gotta go up a hill for a half mile. And then that's the main light before you get to my house. But that main light, then the cops flew. There was more than one cop. And then this is the major light before you get to my house. Um, then the cops flew there and turned down. This was a place I saw them get people before, and they didn't get them before most of the time. They got them as I was heading home. So the last time I saw police go that way and arrest someone, it was when I'm going home. It was somebody was sitting there waiting for me as I'm biking. So I bike, and then they're sitting there, like within. So here's a light, and then they're just a little ways in and parked in there. And so I'm on my way home. And the cop, like right in front of me, gets somebody. This same place today, and the cops zip down that way. They're going real fast. They go around me, and then they turn down. And then another cop comes, and it flies down the road, and it heads right down by my house. And it looks like it's going where my house is. And then there's more cops at the end of my block. So then I don't know how many cops this is, but I have not seen them going this fast before. I have not seen them going this fast. So as soon as I leave the pawn shop, then one, like the sirens go and it zips like so. So it had to be related to me because it wasn't anywhere near my house. This is so this would have been like a mile from my house, and then the police, and this is a small town. There's a lot of roads. It's like a grid. There's a lot of roads. There's a lot of blocks. So for it to go down where I'm going, to go on the same road that I'm going, and to go in the same direction I'm going is unlikely. So, and to be at the same time that I'm leaving. It wasn't before I left, and it wasn't after I got home. It's as I'm leaving, going home. This is when the cops come. So then I go to get on my road, and as soon as I get on my road, I go a couple blocks over to my road, then a cop comes. And then I hear the sirens and I see it. So I get on the sidewalk and it zips around me. It goes like 60 mile per hour on this 25 mile per hour road. And then there's like, I don't know, a quarter mile left until this main light at the top of the hill. This is the big light before my house. And then the cop, like one or two of them, then they turn and they go down there. And then another cop comes and it flies and it goes right down right by where my house is. Because then I'm at the light and I see there's cops there. And then at the end of that next block is another major road, like going around my house. And then there's cops going there. And all the sirens. It's like they had hitmen stationed all around my property. Like, no matter which way I would go, surrounding my property. Like there's a major road here. My house is in the middle. There's a major road here. They had someone here, my house. They had someone here. And the police were going. They didn't do this while I was in the pawn shop. They did this when I left. So they saw I was going, and they had time to get into place. They didn't do this on my way. They didn't do this, so there was probably somebody stopped, so they know where I turned to go to the soup kitchen. And it was about to be dinner time. So there was somebody probably parked around the roundabout. There was probably a hitman around the roundabout, because I always turn there and go to the soup kitchen. So then I saw all the fire trucks there, so I turned a few blocks early, and I went a different way. And then, and I thought, I'm not going to go to the soup kitchen, but I'm not really sure. And then I didn't plan on going, but just to make sure I didn't go. Then there's a train coming when I leave. So within like 10 minutes, then a train comes. Trains don't come that often. And so I'm like, oh, I can't even get to it. I have to go all the way around. That's quite a long ways. That'd be like, I don't know, almost 10 minutes, like when it should be 2. So I didn't want to go anyways, but, you know, the thought crossed my mind, and then it was like, oh, I'm not supposed to, like, this is a confirmation from God. I am not supposed to do the soup kitchen. And so then I leave the pawn shop and go 2 blocks over to the road my house is on. And once I get on that road, there's cops flying. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they had time to get into place while I was in the pawn shop. They had time to get into place. And it's probably good. They told me to bring my bike in. They told me to bring my bike in. Praise the Lord. I need to write that down too. That probably kept me safe because I was going to hook my bike up to the bench outside. I was locking my bike to the bench, but there was a bunch of hitmen trying to get me that day. Had I locked my bike outside, the amount of time it would have taken me to unlock it, because they weren't right next to me. They didn't know where I was going. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. I just kind of thought, oh, this is on the way back. I'll stop there. So they didn't know I was going to a pawn shop, but people spy on me. So they didn't have killers right next to the pawn shop. But while I was in there, and I was in there maybe 15, 20 minutes or something, while I was in there, then they knew where I was and were able to get people in place. So as soon as I left, then they were following me. Had my bike been locked outside, they would have seen it, they would have known exactly where I was, and they would have had time to get me too while I was unlocking my bike. Instead, my bike was in the building, and then I was able to leave and just bike home right away. And as soon as I go, there's cops everywhere. This is crazy. They're zipping around me, and I know it's for me. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Because it was on both sides, at the major road on both sides of my house. And I seen them get somebody at this road before, and it was right as I was headed home. Just like this time, right as I'm headed home. They don't try to kill me when I first leave, because I leave at different times. So they don't know what time I'm leaving. But when I'm at some place, then they know I'm going to leave at about a certain time. So they don't know, like maybe if I'm at home, maybe I won't even go out that day. They don't know. Or maybe I'll leave at 10 o'clock. Or maybe I'll leave at 1 o'clock. They don't know. So they wait till I'm out and then I'm coming home to try to get me. And this is at other times I've seen police get people right around me. It's on my way home. And then when the serial killer was trying to get me, I see cops going right in front of my house. Never seen anything like this. This is a small town. This is a small town. Like, this is serious business. Also, I looked at my watch a few times today. So, at first time I remember looking at my watch, I was in the bathroom and I was taking my watch off so I didn't get it wet when I washed my hands. And then I think it was 10:17, and it might have been 10:07, 10 sec, or it might have been 10:17, something like that. It had a 17 in it when I first looked at it. And then this evening there was a huge rainstorm again, and it was flooding in the streets again, another storm. And then when I went out to look, like to see, because I do Sabbath when the sky is all black and there's no daylight left. That's when I start, and that's when I end Sabbath. This is what I do. I'm not going to look up times and dates on a computer. I don't have a cell phone, so I'm just going to look. If it's perfectly dark, I don't see any light, Sabbath starts. If it's perfectly dark and I don't see any light, then Sabbath ends. This is me. This is how I do, like, if I choose to do any fasting, this is how I do it. I just use daylight, because I can see with my eyes when it starts. And I'm not going to say, oh, here's a sliver of light, or there's more light, or there's light, but it's still dark. No. For me, when it's dark, it's dark. So that's what I do. And so I went outside to see, is it all the way dark, or do I have time to check my messages, my emails about buying and selling? It was dark, so I couldn't check my messages about buying and selling. It is now Sabbath. But it was 1. Oh, no, this was 10. Oh, no, this wouldn't have been 1:17. No. This was later. Okay. So yeah, I did check it then. Okay, so this is what happened. I didn't look at my watch at this time. I went outside and I looked, and it was like weird winds, or there was weird lights, and it looked almost like lightning, but I didn't hear anything. And then a bunch of rain. It was kind of scary, ominous looking weather. And then it's really late now. I stayed up all night, I guess. But then I went outside again just to look at the weather and to see what it looked like outside. I think it was 1:17 a.m. So this is like when I looked at my watch again. I looked at my watch again. So 2 times I remember looking at my watch. It was like 10:17 or 1:17 a.m. And it might have been 1:17:07 or 1:17:10 with 10, uh, like fractions of a second. So I saw 17s today. Yeah, I did pray over my booth, so hopefully that starts bringing in the sales. If any witchcraft has been used against my business, which surely it has, it's all canceled, and now the sales can start coming in. Has actually had items that I paid more than $4 for. I'm just gonna say, um, I didn't sell that much. I only sold like 5 items, but this one thing I sold was $25, and another thing was like 3. But then there were some bracelets, so I don't know. As I said, I think it's that they're hunting the chosen ones right now. They're hunting down the chosen ones, so all their time and attention is going to that. So this month should be big sales month. So I did pray over my booth. So it was still time to suffer, so that's why. But I was just I was concerned too when she saw me. She's like, "Oh, have you done that?" Or since it was like near the first of the month, I was supposed to go and see if I owed rent or anything. And I'm like, "Oh, well, I haven't been in since this, or this is my first time in the month I've been in." And then she gave me the card, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't owe any money." And I opened it up, and there's $4 before it. I'm like, "Oh, this is good. I didn't want to owe money. That's good." But she said it was a hard month for everybody. It was a hard month for everybody. I'm gonna write that down too. It was. See, March. Wait, January, February, March. It was a hard month for everybody.